Hello, good evening, and welcome to another live stream. So tonight I'm hopefully streaming onto Periscope, onto YouTube, and also onto Facebook. You can find me on the three different channels. So I hope this comes through loud and clear. And thank you all for joining me. We've got 30-minute show tonight, so it's not just as long as last night. So hopefully that should. And hello, Connor. I'm glad to see it's coming across in YouTube as well. So yeah, a warm welcome to you all. As you can see, I've been really busy since yesterday. I've built this entire studio behind me. I mean, who says I'm not a busy bee? So I just thought I'd make it look a little bit prettier. Then hopefully you like the look of it. So hope this finds you all well. And hello, Ellen Joan. Ellen Joan, nice to see you all the way from the Netherlands. The Netherlands, which appears to be less locked down than the UK. So, and hello, Chris, indeed, a warm welcome to you as well. So can I ask you folks to do your normal routine? If you like what I'm saying on Periscope, hit the stars and hit the superstars, and on YouTube, hit whatever you want, really. I'm not sure what the methodology is there. And ditto, of course, on Facebook as well. So, as I say, it's back to work. I'm back to work on Monday, says Tom. Good to hear, Tom. We all need to be back to work, but of course, most of us aren't, and most of us won't be. And actually, Tom, that leads me into essentially the core point of this discussion I want to have with you, and that is what we the only real show to talk about is hello, warm welcome to my viewer from sunny Islington. Nice to see you in the stream. There's so many aspects to talk about the coronavirus. So many things we could chat about tonight. I specifically want to talk about the economics of it. And hi Mike. I know that economics sounds a bit dull, but actually, if you really think about it, economics ends up with what's in your paycheck, what's in your wallet, what's in your purse, what's in your bank account. It's fundamental to your way of life. And that's been, hello Chamber Pots, nice to see you. Well, thanks for returning to me tonight. So this is an important topic, folks. It's really important. And of course, we all know that the lockdown has seriously impacted on the economies around the world. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Hi, Angela. Nice to see you. And thanks for joining. Herbert says he's lost connection message in Periscope. Unwatchable. I think that's got to be at your end. So just before I go live, this is the preamble. Can you just all give me a thumbs up, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Periscope, just to check that the signal is okay. I see I've got someone from Missouri and a nice spaceship. Yeah, well, as I say, I've been really busy building this in the past 24 hours. I'm exhausted. So yeah, folks, it's all looking good here. I've been messing around with settings and stuff at this end. So yeah, I can see on the different channels, different people giving me thumbs up. Hello, Charmish from India. Nice to have my Indian followers on me. So it's all looking good. Okay, let's get on with it then. And I guess what I want to sort of share, I'm going to share some stuff hopefully on the screen with you. So I'm going to try it this way tonight. I might be able to do it an even better way tomorrow night, but here goes anyway. So the fact that the global economies have, I'm sorry, Herbert, that Periscope has been having problems, but if you follow me on YouTube, you can watch me streaming over there effortlessly. If you follow Alt News Media on Facebook, you can see me streaming on Alt News Media on Periscope on Facebook. So it's certainly I'm interactive if nothing else. Let's kick off with the impact all of this is having across the world. And if I can just start by sharing something with you. I'm going to put a chart up. Have a look at this chart. This shows the impact in quarter one across the world of lockdown. So I'm just going to show it, and I'm going to talk over it. So I will vanish. Maybe that's a good thing. And you can just watch the chart. So you can see how the global economy has shrunk across Q1 by country. So you can see the UK is back 2% by GDP. France is back almost 3 times that. Italy, 2.5 times that, I suppose, twice. And you can see the numbers. China obviously suffering the worst. Oh, what a shame. And then the likes of the US, which at that point hadn't really gone into lockdown. Sweden, which hadn't really gone into lockdown at all, virtually, from an economics point of view, pretty flat, hadn't wrecked itself. So isn't it interesting that if you look at South Korea, the US and Sweden, when you look back at Q1, the countries which did best were the ones that didn't lock down. And the countries that have done worst were, of course, the countries that in the last week or so of Q1 did lock down. So hope you find that. Hi, Celtic Woman. Nice to see you. Hope you find that chart of interest insofar as that sort of summarizes what has been happening across the first 3 months of this year. And that was with about 1 week of lockdown, by the way. 1 week of lockdown for most Western countries. And you can see the economies all beginning to crash and burn. Now, the question is, well, what could happen in Q2? Oh, no, by the way, if you like this, please, hi, Stevie, please leave your comments. I'm always happy I can see what you're saying. So just let me put a comment in. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm always interested in your thoughts. So then the question is, well, okay, that was Q1. That's looking back in the rear mirror a bit. So now here we are in mid-May. What kind of things could be happening then? So again, I'm going to just share a couple of things with you. Well, here's some of the things that are happening then. You can see that the TUI group are cutting 8,000 jobs as it restructures. That's a pretty significant amount of lost jobs. And TUI's just one example. I mean, obviously the entire holiday industry's gravely afflicted. There's lots of redundancies, and that's why we see things like the UK on course for significant recession. Well, I mean, that's an understatement for starters. Clearly, the UK economy. Hang on, I'm just dropping the things in. Dropping these comments in. Hello, Dirk and Gaynor. So many people joining in. Nice to see you all. So if you think Q1 was bad, just wait till you get to the end of Q2. I listened to a former Bank of England expert on radio earlier, and they were saying that they reckon by the end of Q2, so the end of June, this economy will essentially have crashed by about 25%, because about 25% of the economy is just shut. So it kind of makes sense that our GDP would crash by 25%. Now, that's unheralded. That's without precedent. And the consequences for that are going to be so severe. So, and I see some of your questions here, by the way. Someone from St. Martin in the Caribbean. Very welcome. Nice to have a Caribbean viewer on the stream, and thank you for being part of this experiment. So yeah, Ronald jumped over from Periscope to YouTube. Which is the best? Well, you let me know, folks. Which do you think is better, Periscope or YouTube, in terms of how this views? I would suggest that you all subscribe to my YouTube channel and subscribe to the Alt News Media Facebook channel as well, please. If you can do that for me, that would be good. Yeah, I think Ellen Joan, I think Periscope is pretty good, actually. And most of my viewers are from Periscope, but I can see people here from other platforms such as YouTube. So that's good. But if you do that, that'll be fine. So here's the thing anyway. The Chancellor said, yeah, it looks like we're going to be in a recession. Well, whoop-day. The reason we're going into a recession is specifically because the government is pushing us into this massive recession. It is estimated around 2 million people have lost their jobs. That's the number. That's the increase of people who have joined, essentially claiming unemployment benefit in the. Patricia says, "I don't do face palm. I'm afraid too caustic." Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm not actually keen on any of these social media platforms, but they're there, and I have to take advantage of them. So I hope you understand that. But essentially, Kelly Goodman says, going into recession because too many people in Britain, David. Well, that is, of course, a consideration, and immigration, of course, has many issues to talk about with regard to that, and we will talk about them. But my point is this, that the government has basically shot itself in the foot, and now it complains that it's got a sore foot. And if this keeps going for another quarter, which it will do, then it's like shooting yourself in the head. Well, you know, if you do something like that, there's a fair chance you're not going to recover from that. So what I absolutely fear is that we're being pushed onto the economic rocks. I've entitled this Economic Apocalypse, but it's government policy following the wrong idea, following the wrong policy that is the problem. Stevie's asking, does BitChute do live stream? I don't know, actually. I think I should also. I think I do. I have got a BitChute account, but I'm not sure that I haven't linked to it at this point anyway. But I hope to. Do I think this is a planned screw up? Well, put it like this. You know, you don't have to believe in conspiracy theories to realize that what's happening seems to be without historical precedent and is deeply disturbing. It's really concerning. It's concerning to see around the world economies crash and burning. And what's the consequences of those economies crash and burning? Well, one of the consequences is that the state gets bigger. So, for example, in the UK, all public transport is going to be nationalised. It's the only way. Every part of the public transport network is losing money. Hi, Lenny. Nice to see someone from all the way from North Wales. I've got people from the Caribbean. I've got them from North Wales. I've got all the most exotic spots. I absolutely do believe that. That the governments are behaving in ways which are very hard to understand, and each government seems to be wanting to crash its own economy. There's a couple of exceptions to this. Sweden isn't. Sweden is not following the narrative. South Korea isn't following the narrative. Until a significant degree, the United States isn't following the narrative. Simon asks, am I in a studio? Yes, Simon, I'm in my home studio. So I hope, by the way, everyone likes this new, hopefully you like this new structure and new format. It is different from me, but hopefully it's about trying to get things to look as professional as is possible. And thanks, Gary. I'm glad you like the background as well. As I say, I built it earlier. It's all my own work. So the governments are really laying up huge problems, and then I think Celtic Woman mentioned, well, what impact will immigration will have on all of this? Well, that's a fair question, but and from an economic point of view, I would say this: with the economy crashing, and at the same time, there's a counter narrative to that. When the economy crashes, what happens is tax revenues fall. What that means is that as a consequence, guess what? Your taxes are going up. You're going to pay a lot more tax. The government has no choice. I understand the Treasury has advised the Chancellor that we need about a 5p increase on the basic tax rate just to cover the increased costs of the furlough, because the furlough costs are about 14 billion a month. So that's why the UK national debt is going to more than double from 55 billion to well over in excess of well north of 100 billion. So this is huge stuff. Let me bring up a comment on the screen here. So Derek asked the question: if you have to make a choice between lockdown or economics, what will you take? I'll always take economics. I will always take economics, because the economics is what pays for everything. Lockdown doesn't pay for itself, unfortunately. You cannot exist on fresh air. But at the moment, significant populations around the world, not least here in the UK, Dirk, they are they're living the high life on 100% salary, and they're not working. So I mean, there's Chris is saying make massive pay cuts in the NHS. Well, that's what it could mean. But Chris, I've got bad news for you. I believe the government and the Chancellor will very shortly announce special new green taxes to pay for our green and pleasant land. And these green taxes will be disguised as the money we get in for the green taxes. They'll help the NHS. You must clap for the NHS. So they're going to use the cloak of green taxes in the NHS to screw more taxation out of you. And can I just say hello to Miss Brexit? I'm glad you like the new background. Thank you very much for being here. And nice to see you. And this is going to be the setup in future. I've got a few. I'm hoping to do a live interview stream on Friday night. So if you tune in Friday night at 8 o'clock, you'll see the first of what will be a series of live interviews. And that interview will be with the leader of the For Britain party, Anne-Marie Waters, who's a friend of mine. So just to let you know that that's coming up on Friday night. So hope you'll join that. So it'll be interesting to test out this technology from that point of view. Sorry, folks, just going back onto the main screen here. So yes, Steve. So hope you kind of. I hope you folks like the what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make things a lot more interesting. There's a lot of interesting people. Anne-Marie is a lovely lady. Like myself, she gets vilified and called the worst possible things. It'll be a pleasure to welcome her here live on Friday night. Hope you'll all be able to join. We'll have a maybe 30-45 minute chat on all the issues of the day, and hopefully you'll find that kind of enjoying. But going back to what I'm saying, so as the government collapses the private sector wealth creating economy, you can't sustain the public sector economy. It's not possible. But yet the government seems to want to do that. This will all end so badly. It'll end so badly. And on top, I mean, yes, Celtic woman, I understand the cost of immigration. I get that. I was talking. Yeah, Katie Hopkins would be interesting. Maybe I'll bring Katie on. Actually, would you be interested in hearing myself and Miss Hopkins have a 30-minute yarn? Because I'm sure that's something I could arrange. But I want to make sure this all works perfectly before Katie comes on. So yeah, actually this is good. Give me your suggestions. Jared Batten, great guy. Katie, wonderful lady. Anne-Marie, wonderful lady as well. If there are other people that you would like to see chatting with, it's not. I don't want to do interviews, folks. I like to chat to people just like this. We can tackle topics, talk them through. But David Icke, I don't know, David would come on somehow, but Toby Young, yeah. I mean, there's lots of people. I think what I'll try and aim for is we'll get the Anne-Marie's chat out of the way on Friday night. See how that one goes. Hopefully you'll like that and find it fun and interesting. And then into next week, we can then look to maybe bring in some more guests. Jared Batten would be. I'd quite like to see Jared come on the show, talk to him. And of course, I would like Katie to come on. The only problem is if I bring Katie Hopkins on, what we're going to do is she and I are going to giggle for about 30 minutes. That's what we're going to do. But hopefully you might find that interesting. Because someone said Piers Corbyn. I thought it was Piers Morgan. Definitely not Piers Morgan. I've banned Piers. I block everybody on social media that disagrees with me. There's no way Piers Morgan is getting under my show. No, he's been banned. I've banned him. Don't want to know about him. He's an idiot. I actually hope to bring on some American guests as well, by the way, just so that you know, there's some really interesting people on both sides of the pond. And I would like to bring some of their voices to you. I think you'll find some of the insights that I've heard from very erudite American people really worth sharing. Both sides. I'd be very happy to have Tommy Robinson on the show, by the way. I've never actually spoken with Tommy Robinson, but if Tommy would like to come on, he'd be welcome. I mean, the way I see it, and this is because I do believe in freedom of speech, I'm very happy to bring on kind of anybody. Hello to my Edinburgh viewer as well. You're very welcome. But I don't want to bring on like cranks. If I could have Donald Trump, I would have him on like a shot. Maybe we can have someone in a Donald Trump mask on as the alternative. But these are and hello, several Sassy Safa from Edinburgh. You're welcome. So these are people that I hope in the weeks ahead to come on and we can chat together. I know how to do this, so you can hopefully get some great entertainment from hearing the voices that are typically banned. I mean, let's face it, you never see me in the BBC, and I would never want to be in the BBC. You're never going to see Anne-Marie, you're never going to see Jared, you're never going to see Katie, you're never going to see all these really, really interesting people. Someone says, how do I define a crank? There's many ways to define a crank, but I do think, we should listen to people's opinion. Seb Gorka, I know Seb Gorka, Angela. I have communicated with Seb. So there's lots of folks that we can bring onto the show and in the time ahead. And hopefully, I mean, I am actually quite happy to have people who don't agree with me. Sorry, folks, my dog has not realized I'm in the studio, so she's being barky in the background. So I hope to get these interviews in place in the time ahead. If you folks like it, then I'll do more and more of them. Certainly, Peter Hitchens Peter's been such a good guy on this topic. So I would like to have Peter on. Toby Young, all these guys are all good people. Also, there's some really interesting people, not famous people, that I quite like, that I'd be quite happy to come on and chat to me, because as I say, the ordinary people have got a lot of. Holly says, "Bring in your dog next time." She's outside, desperate to get in, but she has to stay outside. Otherwise, there's so much stuff set up, so much kit set up around me. Sorry, who was that? That blocked you, Jeanette? Somebody blocked you. Was that Peter Hitchens blocked you? Peter and I had a big row, by the way, over Brexit. Don't know if you saw that. Peter didn't believe in a clean break Brexit. I did believe in a clean break Brexit, and he took exception to me. So he's a wee bit. Peter is a good guy on this topic, though. Somebody says, that's not your dog, it's a critic. Peter, he hasn't blocked me, Jeanette, but someone says Putin loves dogs. Yeah, Putin's just, he's just out of sight here because he helped me build a studio overnight. So I shall take your advice, folks. This is actually one of the great benefits of this broadcast. I can hear what you think and hopefully give you what you want. And someone says, well, this is a good comment. Jim says, you look like you're in a spacecraft. Yeah. Well, I mean, what can I say? I'm taking no chances. If this coronavirus really keeps kicking in, I might have no any option but to leave Earth. But hey, get this, on a separate topic. Although Boris has slightly eased the lockdown in England, here in Northern Ireland, and I believe it's the same for you Scottish folks, and for people in Wales, actually, I've got people from all the three other nations of the UK. Our lockdown continues, to the 28th of May. 28th of May, nothing changes. And guess what? Guess how many deaths we had today? 2. That's right, 2. But hey, we cannot take chances. We've got to lock the economy down. We've got to keep people behind, pay people off work. We've got to crash the economy. We've got to destroy everything because, well, reasons. And the reasons turn out to be that a couple of people have died. Very sorry. But actually, when you hear what the two people died of, it's COVID-related deaths. Well, what's COVID-related? If I go out and a car knocks me down and kills me, and they do an autopsy and they discover that I've carried the the COVID virus, is that a COVID death or is that a car death? Which is it? And I think that the whole way in which they're measuring death is highly debatable at the very least. But yeah, so on the basis of a couple of people dying of something related to COVID, then and there's an interesting comment actually. Let me just put this one up. Angela says that the Office of National Statistics say it isn't an epidemic. Well, I agree. I agree with that, Angela. I might be inclined to say maybe it's a scamdemic, but it's certainly at the moment, at this point in time, the loss of anyone's life, of course, is a very sad thing. If it was any relation of anyone on this Periscope or on this YouTube or this Facebook, I'd be so sorry for the loss of any life. But hey, come on, across the UK now, out of a population of getting up towards 70 million, we're now suffering daily death totals of a couple of hundred. And we're locking the economy down and causing unlimited misery and death. I'm afraid this is just unacceptable. So, that's actually one of the cool things. Yeah, it's really nice the way I can actually bring up your. I'm just reading some of your comments are great, by the way. I love this. I hope you like the fact that and I hope you don't mind, by the way, that I'm actually able to share your comments. But they're bloody good, and I think people need to hear as much as what I have to say. I'm very pleased for people to be able to see what you have to say as well. So that's why this is hopefully more interesting than just me sitting talking for 30 minutes. It's a question of you guys say stuff. If you want to send me stuff before the show, I can put it up on the screen so people can see the things that are of concerning to you. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you. Don't worry about being late. You obviously can watch the show on replay on the different channels. So whilst it's live at the moment, you'll be able to watch it all on playback. So Chris is saying there's no Glastonbury this year. There's no Glastonbury. There's no Wimbledon. There's no nothing. I'm afraid. Mike says, great, no Glastonbury. I live here, peace and quiet. I remember you, Mike, saying this from last year. That Glastonbury's no fun for people who live beside Glastonbury. I'm sure that's true of people who live beside Wimbledon, live beside Aintree Racetrack, live beside maybe Wembley. I'm not sure about Wembley, mind you. Not sure about it. I've been to Wembley. Interesting. Interesting demographics. So listen, folks, that's kind of it. I want to keep this one pretty much to the minute. So again, it is kind of been another slight test, but I hope you like the improvement from last night's. So you can see I've logoed up, I've blitzed it up a bit. I just hang on, just want to sort of see if I can do. You do have to excuse me as I do a few things here. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. Hope you think it's fun, and hope you'll come back every night, 8 o'clock. Interviews, debates, all kinds of stuff. Best of all, though, it's going to be you as well as me. So listen, thanks for your time. Thanks for your company. As I always say these things, thanks who have sent hearts and super hearts. Thanks who those on the likes over on YouTube and Facebook. And hope to catch up with you folks then tomorrow night. Same time and same place. In the meantime, be good. Speak to you then. Bye-bye.